I just want to do a quick little run through of ThinkCentral. This is a resource that you all have access to if you are teaching Journey's curriculum. And it's a very underused resource, and I want to make sure that's not being underused because you're unaware of what's available to you. I know that you all have print copies of everything in your classroom that I'm going to be showing to you in a second. But this is just a great additional tool to have if you are doing planning at home, so that way you don't have to lug everything with you to your home. You can also create assignments in here for students and even assign assessments as well. So you don't necessarily have to do that, but it's an option. You can also plan out your week and attach and bookmark materials for what you're planning on teaching. I know that when Alicia was teaching grade 3, I know some of you don't know who she is, but she was my team partner when I was teaching grade 3. She taught Journeys, and she liked to use the My Smart Planner. And the way that she used it is she would put in the projectables for that day, which I'm going to show you where to access projectables. And so everything was just ready, and she didn't have to search through all of her files. And so she would do this as she was planning out for the week. So that might be something that's helpful to you as well, to use the Smart Planner. You'll have to set it up, but that's pretty self-explanatory. I basically want to go through and show you everything that is available to you. Okay, so the first place I would start, I'm impersonating someone right now, but the first place I would start is making sure that you are on your appropriate grade level. So if you teach 3rd, 2nd, 1st, and primary, that's where you want to be. I have given you guys access to all the grade levels intentionally because there are some resources that I've given you access to, like grammar videos, phonics, things like that, in the different grade levels. And so that way you can differentiate for students who might need enrichment or some remediation and extra reteaching. So that's why you have access to everything. But when you're planning out for your week of instruction, please make sure that you choose the correct grade level that you're in. So I just stuck with kindergarten for now. So everything I'll be showing, you can see all my tabs that I have pulled up already, is from the kindergarten side of things, okay? So first place you want to start is this Journeys guided tour. It'll take you to this video. It's a 6-minute video, and it's just really helpful for you to see the student perspective, especially about a minute into the video, you'll see how this could be beneficial for students. And I know right now we're in person, and so this might not be the best avenue of teaching. I mean, I think with reading, it's preferable, right, always to have the paper text in front of them. But I know we do have some students who might not be able to come to school one day, or we even have a student who's not here at all and is working remotely. This would be something good to set up for them. And so it's good for you to see in this video, this short video, what it would look like for them. All right, so the next thing that you'll look at is the teacher ebook. This is your, you have 6 different units and you have a teacher guide for each one. This is that. So here is unit 1, for example. And you can just flip through the pages and see what is coming up for that unit. I just jumped ahead in the table of contents. And I went to unit planning and pacing because when I was teaching this is what was really relevant to me. If you want to make it bigger, you can turn on a page view and see things differently. You can also increase the letters. So just so you know kind of what options are available to you there. Oops. Of course, I messed it up now. You can bookmark pages. Okay, so if I want to remember this page, I can just bookmark it. If I want to take some notes, I can add some notes. This is helpful when you're planning and also when you're reflecting on what you've taught after. And when you go down to more, you can hop into the student edition straight from here, okay? You can also assign resources to this page. I haven't assigned any, so you don't see anything there. And then once again, your table of contents is how you can navigate through this first unit, okay? So the next thing that you can look at is the student ebook. That's what I would jump to next. So here's the teacher ebook and the student ebook. You can see that the teacher resources are all in like this orangish red. The student are in yellow. Okay, so earlier I was looking at Unit 1, and this is one of the lessons from Unit 1. So it's just helpful to see as you're planning what your students will see as well. Okay, you can just kind of flip through and see the different pages. You can, once again, you can bookmark, you can add resources to the page. Okay, so this one, you can see there's a vocabulary reader that you could take a look at. And this is an additional book. We don't have the paper copies of these because they weren't available internationally. So if you want the students to be looking at the vocabulary reader, I might be wrong, but I don't remember us purchasing these. So if you want them to be able to read this, that the best way would be to have them access it online, and I'll show the student side of things in a different video. But this is how you as a teacher can see what the child would see. Okay, so there's also level readers for this book that you could use for small group instruction. We don't use the Spanish resources, but I want you to know that these are there because I know we do have some elementary students who are Spanish speakers, so you could give them access to these materials if they want, to be reading Spanish at home. So just a heads up for you there. There's also audio. Okay, that goes along with it. So this is the student ebook. This is what the student would see as well if they were accessing their book via the app. Okay, so that's the student side of things. Okay, then you can check out what leveled readers are available. So let's just take a look at that really quickly. Okay, there are 4 levels. This is our lower to higher. Okay, and then you also have the vocabulary readers down there. You can see different books that go with the different lessons. So we were on lesson 6. So this would also be accessible earlier from what I showed you. But yeah, you can see the leveled reader that goes along with the content from lesson 6. Okay, so there's that. So that's where you can see the leveled readers. Okay, then there are also teacher resources. So this would be the place that you would want to go to access things like projectables, for example, or the writing handbook, or there's even a quick start pacing guide that might be helpful to you. And the reader's notebook, I know several of us don't want to purchase this because we're not using every page, and that's perfectly acceptable. But let's say there is, for one lesson, a certain page you want to use. This is where you would go. There's a teacher's edition, and then this is the student edition. And let's say you know that you want to do one of the lessons from volume 1. So you would just go to content, table of contents, and once again, we'll stick with lesson 6. And you can see that this is the reader's notebook page from lesson 6. Okay, so if you wanted them to have a copy of it, you could right-click print, or you can go to more and print. You can pick the current page. There we go, background graphics. Hooray! Okay, so let me put it in color. There we go. So if you really want to print it in color, you can, and then just tick on background graphics. If you just want it black and white, you can have it black and white and tick on background graphics. So this is one way. If you just want certain lessons from the reader's notebook or the writing handbook, you can just directly print them from ThinkCentral. All right, let's go back to teacher resources again so I can show you what else is on here. The other thing that I think is helpful to you, there's a lot in here, are the projectables. Okay, so when we access the projectables, once again, we have our table of contents that we can go to. Remember, I'm focusing on lesson 6, and I can see the projectables that go along with what's in your planning guide for lesson 6. Okay, so I can flip through and see everything that's available. And you'll notice there's the student page and then the teacher page. Okay, so this is really helpful to put things up on the board for students to see. Okay. There is an interactive whiteboard lesson, but we don't have smart boards or Promethean boards, so those won't work as well. So I would move into the projectables. Okay, so take And, look through this, see what's available to you. There's also a video hub. This is mentioned in your units. There's often videos that are like current event videos that are the Channel 1 News that you could show to your class. Okay, the other thing I want to point out to you is you notice that there's another tab, differentiated instruction. Okay, this is where you can see any of the ELL resources that are available to you, some intervention resources, decoding power. I know that we use with learning support. And then there are also some resources for literacy centers. Okay, so this is helpful if that was me moving on my desk. If you are working on like vocabulary or having students thinking and writing or doing comprehension and fluency exercises, there are resources here to help you. So let's just take a look at word study and see what is available for you. All right, I'll do table of contents again, unit 1. Let's just look at lesson 1. Okay, and you can see through here what are some, you could put this on the iPad, guys. The app should be working, and you could work on this, or students can work on it with an aide in a small group setting. Okay, and they would have it there in front of them. All right, so there's a lot more that you can take a look at in there, but this is where I'll stop with the teacher resources. There are some things for English language support. And then I just want to point out a couple more things to you. For students, they have the student ebook and then the student resources. I already showed you some of the student resources, like this page is one of the student resources. But you can also assign them to students. All right, the other thing, there are assessments that come with the program. Yeah, if you want to use these assessments, they are available to you. You can assign them digitally to students. All right, last thing. So there is a professional learning site that you can go to. And in this, they have free professional development. Okay, they have a getting started section, which is really helpful the first time you're going into this. And then they have lots of other areas that you could go into to deepen your instructional practice. So I just wanted you to know that that is also available to you. And I did touch on the Smart Planner. You'll have to set that up. And then when you have it set up, you have My Write Smart, and that is where you would go and plan things and attach resources to each day. So now I'm going to show you how to assign something to a student. Okay, you can see right now that there are no assignments currently. All right, so you can go to create a new assignment, but I don't like that method. So let's go to manage, and then you're going to go to assignments. This is where you can assign a test, like I showed you earlier. Okay. You can also assign, if you click on other assignments, it's also going to take you to the same page. Okay, if you are looking for like a specific test, like the Unit 1 benchmark, you would just type in that. You could type in a standard. You can type in a specific skill. I'm going to type in just their example here, author's purpose. Okay, and you can see here right now, they've given me basically all the grade levels, but let's say, well, I'm on Kinder, so let's just click on Kinder and see what's available for that. Okay, so there's Teacher's Edition, which actually is appropriate for Kinder. So let me click on another grade so that you can see one for a specific student. Let's just do second. So here you can see the student book, Read and Comprehend, pages 72 to 73. And it tells you a little bit about what is supposed to be done. When you click on it, it'll take you to the actual assignment or the pages that it's talking about. Okay, and so you can look through and make sure, yep, this is really what I want to assign to my students. Sorry, then you go back to your original page. You can schedule in the future, or you can assign it. Okay, now you would give it a name. So author's purpose. You can see the assignment is already attached. You choose your class. You don't need to choose a subject or a group because of the way things are set up. You can add all your students, or you can just add specific students. Okay, so we'll add those. You change your assignment when it's available and shows up for the kids and when it's due. Okay, and then you choose when you want to schedule it, and then you can preview your assignment. All right, so it'll take you back to that same page. You're like, yep, that's what I want to do. Then you can close. Okay, so make sure you also add time in there, and then it should allow you to save it. It'll ask you, are you really sure you want to create this? All right. Now, when we go back to our home page, so I'm going to click on home. You can see my assignment shows up there. Okay, don't worry, I will delete this in just a second. Okay, so that is basically on the teacher side of things. There is a lot more that you can do, but those are the things that might be of the most benefit to you.